The girl ignored the tempting $1 million inheritance yet chose 3 simple matches. Even her adoptive sister thought she had completely lost her mind, but she had no idea that only by doing this could the girl protect her entire family. Back then, on the day her grandfather passed in her previous life, the girl feared her adoptive sister would waste the money, so she chose to inherit the million herself. Soon afterward, the girl lost her home and everything she had. She was also beaten brutally by a few thugs until she was barely recognizable. It was only at that moment that she realized all of it had been done by her adoptive sister, simply because she had discovered that the box of matches could grant 3 wishes. So for the first wish, she made the girl's family collapse. Then for the second wish, she made the girl suffer endlessly until she died. And for the third wish, she granted herself endless money to spend. Watching her adoptive sister throw around cash with arrogant delight filled the girl with deep regret. She swore that if she ever lived again, she would never choose that $1 million inheritance. And in the very next instant, she truly returned to the day her grandfather divided the inheritance. Thinking of how her adoptive sister used the matches to destroy their family in her past life, the girl vowed that this time her adoptive sister would pay the price. So she decisively chose the 3 matches. She even pretended that her adoptive sister, who had no parents, lived a difficult life. So she said the million should be given to her adoptive sister. Hearing this, her parents were instantly shocked. The family company had just gone public and her mother was not in good health. Her young adoptive sister could never manage that much money, so they suggested the girl inherit the million first and then give part of it to her adoptive sister. But the adoptive sister immediately grabbed the agreement. She loudly thanked her sister for what she had done. She even arrogantly declared that she could not wait to see the day her sister became a beggar. The girl realized she truly had not changed at all. She turned around and grabbed the matches, preparing to make her wish. But before she could say anything, her mother slapped the matches from her hands. She scolded the girl for being too immature and not caring about the family. Seeing this, her father finally stopped hiding and told grandfather about the company's losses. He begged grandfather to change the will and let them inherit the million. Her mother also pleaded, saying the girl was the one who always cared for grandfather during his illness. She begged the old man to help them for the girl's sake. But the adoptive sister suddenly said that grandfather was already so sick he could not even open his mouth. Maybe he was already dead. The furious grandfather tried to speak, but the anger overwhelmed him and he passed away on the spot. The girl was devastated beyond words, but the adoptive sister clapped happily at the side. The older sister angrily asked how she could be so heartless. He had cared for her since she was a child. The adoptive sister shot back, saying she was only an adopted daughter. By blood, he was never her grandfather. She left proudly after speaking, but just as she walked toward the door, she ran into several thugs. She angrily demanded to know why they were there. Her voice brought the girl out of the room. The thugs saw the girl and their eyes lit up. They shouted that the eldest daughter of the richest family was quite attractive. Her father instantly realized they had come to collect a debt. He quickly shielded the girl and begged for a few more days, but the thugs ignored him. They raised their bats, preparing to strike her father. At that moment, the girl stepped forward and promised she would pay them back very soon. Her mother added that the younger daughter had just inherited a large sum. Once the paperwork was done, she would repay them. Hearing this, the thugs realized there was money and gave them 3 more days. If they could not repay it, they would take the older daughter as compensation. After they left, her mother immediately begged the adopted daughter. She hoped she would lend them some money to get through the crisis, but the adopted daughter shoved her aside. She said she was only the adopted daughter and had no reason to pay their debts. Facing the older sister's accusations, she showed no sign of remorse. She viciously cursed the parents, telling them to wait for the girl to use the 3